Wait, hold on. I'll do my robot in a second here. Hold on, I'll do my robot. Oh, whoa, Maura's going. She's like, this is my human chamber stop. Don't you dare toy with that, Federici. I got to throw this out there. It is 95.1 FM, AM 1420. Rick Federici here, living the life. And I am so excited. All opinions expressed here on Girard Media LLC do not reflect those of management, our advertising partners, or the Duneland Chamber. But we're going to be really chock full of some great information today here with our Duneland Chamber. Mary Anthony, you're on camera. How the heck are you?
Corner today.
Love it.
Here. There's always a lot going on, you know. And so we're excited that you're here today, and we're going to jump into a bunch of stuff, which I love. Thanks, Beth. That was perfect. And so can we start with introductions? Can we just do that and tell us who you brought today?
Absolutely. I'm Maura Durham. I'm the Duneland Chamber president and have been so for the past 4 years. And I've brought my board chair from the Duneland Chamber, Paul Boyder.
Thank you. Big round of applause. Well, I've met Paul before because we kind of have similarities here. If you look at our wide shot, we kind of match.
It was you and Mary Gelati came in and said, "Are you related?"
And I'm like, yes, we are. We have great energy, all of us in this room, by the way.
Yeah,
and I have that exact tie for real.
That's
See,
awesome.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
I love having Maura in the studio as we look. We're live right now on Facebook Live, and you'll see this. This will be up a little bit later. We've got some really cool things we're going to cover today. Maura, why did we put this together? This is kind of something I know that was your creative genius, you and your team, along with Beth and the crew. Talk about that for a moment.
Well, and it also came out of, I will say that the ambassadors that we have is one of our committees, and we talk about all the things that we do at the Duneland Chamber, but we kind of just graze the surface at the end of the day when we go meet our members and we talk about, we have 100 things that we do. We have 100 events, we have 100 networking opportunities, business opportunities. But at the end of the day, sometimes we don't talk about the nitty gritty of what makes our community tick and how those projects evolve and what's our hand in that. So that's something that we said we really need to have some of those deeper discussions and have the time to do so. And so we said, what better way to do is to share it with our WIMS family and get with you guys so that way we can really talk about it and then help promote it really to the masses when it comes to some of these important discussions.
I think it's perfect too because people are curious and they might hear, you hear a lot of information, but it's not always accurate. So this is the perfect way to be able to discuss these issues that do affect the direct community and kind of clear up anything that they may have heard, just, hearsay stuff. So
Yeah.
we love it. We love when you're here. We love to hear about, you guys always have events going on too. So it's always fun to dive into those things and see.
So tell us a little bit about yourself there.
I grew up in Hobart and didn't get too far from home. And I started working for Macaulay Real Estate in 1990. And I worked in their Hobart office for about 8 years. And in 98, I came over to manage the Chesterton office. And it's been a dream ever since.
Nice. That is very
So
cool.
I really enjoy the Duneland communities. And my wife is a teacher in Michigan City. And I love Chesterton. Yeah, it's a great place.
Bravo, your wife.
Yeah.
For what? For
I was
putting
like,
up
hey,
with them?
Megan.
Yeah.
Teach.
Look at that, huh?
I mean, my goodness, we were talking about just kids in general.
Yeah.
And about how much effort they take in teaching is incredible.
Well, and you think about it, this segment was all about economic development. And when we talk about the Duneland community specifically, people are attracted to our community because we
Right.
have such a phenomenal school system. So Dr. Bollinger, she's, our new superintendent this is going to be into her second year. And she's doing a good job of really learning the community. I've met with her a handful of times. She's trying to meet with all the community leaders as well as all the different larger businesses in the area of going, what should we be teaching our kids? How can we get them more into the local businesses so they know when they come home from college what there is to offer to them?
Yeah.
And what more do we need to teach them in school to do so? So
Definitely.
I love when we discuss here in studio at WIMS some of these things because, a lot of us that are listening, a lot of us that are in the business community, we're parents, we're grandparents, we're young parents. Some may be getting to that point in life. But I think as we all evolve, I think we're all looking to see what we can all do
as you were saying, Maura, kind of see what the hot buttons are. What can we do to get to that next level, to keep people here in our backyard, but also to help the businesses, whether they're small, medium, or large, keep things flowing, new development, economic development, keep the restaurants packed and the hotels packed, you know. the
Right.
folks that
Well,
are
I
visiting.
like how you bring up getting the young people involved in local. You know, every kid thinks, I'm going away. I don't want to be around here. You know, they think that. But you know, your roots are hard to leave, but you need to be invested and not just be here. You know, be part of the problem solvers and the fixers and the, you know, the growth. So
If you want
I
to see
love it.
change, you got to be part of it. You got to
Yeah.
make it happen.
Very good. So let's see. I'm interested, Paul, to find out about your role in the chamber then. So we know what you do for a living. How are you involved with the chamber?
I'm the chairman this year. I've been with the chamber for about 4 years on the board. I mean, our company's been a member of the chamber for many years, but I just wanted to get a little more involved. And I think my first meeting on the board of directors was Maura's first meeting as the president.
Oh, how funny.
Cool.
Growing up together. Look at that.
Look at that. That's great.
But the chamber is the energy, and I think it starts with her because her energy level is so high, and I just am having a lot of fun with it. The people on the board are wonderful. We have such a good time with all the events, and I'm just amazed at the number of people that volunteer their time to make what one of our goals is to make Chesterton a destination to live, work, and play. And you know, I think I have 2 kids too. And a couple years ago, we went on spring break to Arizona, and we took them to the Grand Canyon. And you know, I was learning about the Grand Canyon. They said they have about 4.5 million visitors per year. Well, coming back to the chamber, I don't remember who the speaker was, but they told us that the Indiana Dunes and the National Lake Shore have about 2.5 million visitors
Yes.
per year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking, you know, if the Grand
incredible.
Canyon has 4 million, I mean, I would think we would have 500,000 or something. I just thought it would be so many more at the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
But if you think about that as an asset for the Duneland communities to have 2.5 million people come there to visit, and we get to draw them into our community, it's wonderful.
That
Your
is
children,
amazing.
just curious, so do they, are they high school? What?
No, I'm an older parent.
Okay, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I've got a 3rd grader and a 5th grader.
Okay, cool. So that's a good
Oh,
good
yeah.
age.
And my wife teaches in Michigan City, and one of the things, you know, just talking about Duneland, when it gets warmer, of course, not like today, but they'll come home from school. My wife will come home from school. We'll go to George's Gyros,
Nice.
pick up a gyro,
Oh my gosh.
head
Sounds
up
so
to the
good right about
beach,
now.
and we just
Their shakes.
can't believe that we live here. You know, I mean, it's like, to me, it looks like an ocean out there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're 5 minutes from it. So we spend so much time out there, but what an asset to our community.
Yeah, talk about a guy that gives back to George's. Like, he always does like the fundraisers for like the pancake breakfast for like the wrestling team, and like he always has like all those, and he does it like he's just so easy to work with. He just gets community, and that, like, you know, those are the businesses that you like to work with, that you want to attract to your community. So that's another reason that we. And I can't take credit for it if it was my first day, but why we look at certain board members and want to attract certain people to our board. We can carry about 25 board members, is like according to our bylaw. So I have 25 bosses at the end of the day. But we look at our board and we try to structure it to mimic our membership and what the membership looks like. And part of that too is kind of really honing in on certain board members and what their passions are and their interests and where their expertise lies. So with Paul, it's perfect with real estate because he's kind of on the first, like he's on like the front lines, you know,
Yeah.
where he's going, hey, Maura, did you know you're going to have a new neighbor? And I'm going, what? I like the train cars behind me sold. Like, that's so exciting. Like, who's coming up? And he goes, okay, let me make sure I can, let me talk to my client. Let me make sure that everything's, you know,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And now, like, and so now he was able to pass on the information to me. And so me and Andrew have been exchanging back and forth. And he's like, yeah, let me get you in here so you can tour my building. This is kind of what I'm thinking. And he has some cool thoughts about what he's planning on. So there's 2 train cars behind our building.
Yeah,
so the
that's-
whole train inspired kind of area, and we're talking, you know, Do you guys want to? Should we talk?
Please, that's what I wanted to say.
Are you guys
There has been some scuttlebutt about the.
Breaking news! I need the breaking news.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
Where's all the fun buttons?
Yes.
So, but yeah, he's talking about like maybe possibly a train rail fan inspired restaurant. So, but I mean those, obviously buildings that are getting rehabbed and renovated, take a lot of time and energy too. A lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of sweat. So he's a little bit, he's like, should you talk about it so soon? Because we have a magazine coming out too with Duneland Today, our magazine that we publish at the Chamber, that's all going to be economic development inspired as well. That's coming out in the summer. And so we're featuring, I believe we're going to plan on trying to feature him as well as like his backstory, because he's a local guy and he, came to the area and he goes, I just want to, it's what we were talking about. I just want to do something for my community that I love. And,
That's neat.
I went out and I did my thing. And I think, he was traveling. He said, I think he was in LA or something and doing some stuff, but he has a whole bunch of, family here and he came back. So, and I see that a lot with some of the new developments when it comes to rehab and just, our community is known for being really historic. I mean, we have people coming in just to see our train building, and we have people coming in next door where the bed and breakfast is, where it was the old freight station, and we hold events there. It was a similar story with Troy Clark, who's the owner of the Allure, the wedding banquet center that is just took over the old Waterbird facility, and it's a beautiful location. It's again like a hidden gem in Chesterton. It's right on like its own like man-made lake. So I mean, beautiful for pictures, beautiful, picturesque. It just needed some love in that building, and so he did it in. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his building in LaPorte that he had already renovated, and it's super successful, and people just rave about. I mean, just the level of detail that he puts into his business, and I'm just so excited to have that. We did a ribbon cutting not too long ago for him.
How was that for you guys? Great.
It was phenomenal. I mean, everyone and their brother, wants to go to, one wants to be wined and dined, let's talk about it. But I mean, he just the renovations that he did were just truly inspirational. I mean, you just want to go there and I want to go and get married. Let's, I'm like wedding chapels there. It's like,
You're
it's
like,
awesome.
hey, it's the time for an anniversary.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what's going on? So it was very cool. But yeah, there's lots of those stories, and it's just fun to be able to share that.
Can I ask a question to you, Paul, just from the standpoint, because folks listening may want to, kind of jump on this as well. From an investment standpoint, there are obviously homes that are, for the smaller family. Then there are very nice, cool things that are being built, but also that goes with buildings and stuff being kind of rehabbed and restored. Can you kind of just for a moment talk about where we are in the state of that? Just kind of your thought on the Chesterton-Duneland corridor.
Well, in 2007 and 2008-9, the Great Recession hit, and we had no building hardly going on in the town at all. But now, I just counted up yesterday, there's about 15 subdivisions in Duneland, so in Burns Harbor, Chesterton, and Porter, that are going up right now. And Easton Park is a new subdivision with over 300 lots. Wow, and Nardo Builders is putting up some about 1,400 to 1,500 square foot homes that are in the range of 275 to 285.
Beautiful.
And then there's some executive homes that are bigger, in the 350 and up. The Preserve is 90-acre subdivision that is all about nature. So there's going to be, nice smaller lots and then a lot of green open space. And Paul Shin is a builder in there, and Steiner Homes is building, but they'll open it up to, all builders. On the smaller side, like in Porter, Summer Tree is there. Those are half duplexes, and those run probably about 179 to 200. They're getting ready to build some courtyard type villas there, so we're excited about that. So all these subdivisions are happening now, and there's a lot of building going on. And then kind of the downtowns, the Antiques 101 building and the old post office were purchased. And, it just, I love downtown Chesterton and Porter as well. But, like in Chesterton, you look at Thomas Centennial Park, and the new bathrooms that are going in. Have you guys talked about that? So you're gonna have the train themed bathrooms.
No, that's what we haven't talked about.
Oh,
I would love
okay.
to hear about it. I did.
Yeah. So the bathrooms are gonna be trains. So you have the train themed bathrooms.
Like a train car.
They're getting
A train
renovated here in
car.
Michigan City, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
didn't even know that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That is really neat.
And then you'll have Andrew Trella's buildings, which will hopefully soon be a train restaurant. And then Rich Riley has his bed and breakfast. You can sleep. So, I look at what's happening here. So you have these 2.5 million visitors coming to the lakeshore. They come, they can stay in a bed and breakfast in a train. They can go to the bathroom in the train.
Right.
Well, do you know what's really
So
cool?
cool.
Even just locally, I know I have
is
a
great.
my youngest 2 children are boys and love trains.
Oh,
So I mean that's just a cool thing, even locally, just to
My
you know
kids
do.
love coming to the office. They're like, "Mommy, can we go to your office? Mommy, can we go?" Because Connor will get like the chair and he'll stand right there, and 5 minutes later, there's going to be a train.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have our board of directors meetings early, and there will be people roaming around behind the building,
Yeah.
and they're not vagrants. They're looking
Yeah.
at trains.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They
They
have
wanna
their
take
cameras set up.
pictures,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's
That's
pretty
neat.
cool.
Yeah, so right now we're raising funds currently with Patronicity. It's PATRONICITY, and then you can search restrooms, and then Thomas Centennial Park restrooms will come up. So they're essentially crowdfunding $31,000 that we need to raise, but then the state is matching the $31,000. Right now we're at $10,000, so we still have a lot of work to do. We still need everyone, and we're saying like $10-15 helps. Obviously, at this point, some bigger, we need to talk to some more businesses and get some more larger donations
Why
at
don't we
this
do
point.
a Doolin Chamber dance? I'll DJ it.
Right? Okay,
Right,
let's
Thomas
do
Centennial
it.
Park.
Let's do
Like
it.
Daddy, daughter, mom, son, grandparents, kids.
It'd be fun.
Everybody's, $10
Dance
bucks a pop to
party.
get in.
Up all night. Let's do it.
Wouldn't that be
Oh,
cool?
did I not get crazy? I got the energy for it. But yeah, so we're 10,000. We're 10,000 in. We got. We have to get up to 31. But the most important part is we need to hit that 31 because we
Yeah.
get the matching 31.
That's-
So
that
it's
is
like,
crazy.
and that's to do all the extra stuff. So like the town was very, very thoughtful in the process.
Mm-hmm.
They had gotten already the money and the bonds to make sure that we had a bathroom downtown. So there was already thought in it. But once they started talking to the public and started asking, opinions of everyone's going, we want to make this bathroom something special. It's going to be in our downtown. We attract we attract 1,500 people a week when the market's coming, which is soon.
Yeah.
Coming in
Yeah.
May. So there's
Real soon.
we want something a little bit nicer than what and be creative and cool and something to talk about. I get it's a bathroom, but it's still cool.
I
you
Yeah.
know
know?
from a guy perspective right now in this room, we have 2 women that are very intelligent and organized. And I'm not saying anything negative about Paul or myself, but I could see your young boy mind working with mine of all these great jokes I want to throw in there about bathrooms.
No,
And
it
I know,
really
because
it
Mary
is
would
cool.
kill me.
Is there a
And they're
a
planning an
timeline?
activity center, like an activity like warming area. So it's going to be
Oh, that's
nice.
really
So
nice.
Corkscrew and Brew next
Yeah.
year,
Oh,
it's going to be nice. Like 'cause
That's
we
really
want to
nice.
attract people during the colder times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all for the downtown, right? So. So the exciting part, there is a timeline on it. So April 20th is the deadline to make sure that we get these
Really?
funds. So now are the bathrooms going to happen? The bathrooms are going to happen no matter what. And the plan is to have them in place. I want to say they're shooting for end of May, beginning of June, but still early in the season, right? And hopefully with construction, you know how that goes. But that's the plan is to have it up, have the bathrooms running by really pretty much early June, I believe. So
Are we going to do a ribbon
Soon.
cutting ceremony?
I think we need to, right?
Yeah.
But
I would love to be there.
So why
I'm
not?
kidding you.
Yeah.
Paul's laughing, but I'm serious.
Yeah. No,
Bathroom
it's-
party.
Speaking of ribbon cuttings too, we were just talking about, we mentioned Porter and Chesterton, but Burns Harbor is a really important community for us too.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about partnering with them for the Food Truck Square,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
their whole mission for doing Food Truck Square was that they have acres, like 4 acres surrounding that area, which is their dream of a downtown. So right now they're in that infant stage of going,
Yeah.
we're a community that was built on the steel mills. Praxair is right there. There's big businesses there that honestly the workers just started to find their homes there, and now they don't have that central location. So kudos to the redevelopment commission for saying, you know what, we're going to bring people to, we're going to make a quality of place, and we're going to, really work on this placemaking and do this. So Food Truck Squares, and it'll be its third season this season. We're helping to coordinate it. We're bringing the market, we're doing some extra stuff, but their vision for this is that some of those merchants want to locate and build on that 4-acre site where they're pretty much, they're coming and bringing all their wares, right now. But hopefully their dream is to have a store in Burns Harbor's new downtown.
Wow,
That's neat.
Yeah.
When do they open? Is it May also?
It will be May 30th is their first day.
Okay.
It's a Wednesday evening market, so it's from 5 to 9 p.m. So you can see, hopefully I'll be running around. Jackie Thomas is our European market director. She's coordinating that. I know Marcus Rogalo, who's the redevelopment commission president, is highly invested and involved in that. So he's usually there as well. So, and then, obviously all the staff members that you guys love to see from us. So I know we're all in rotation going there, but that's from Wednesday, May 30th to the end of September. Yeah, so very, very close to the European market. So
I was going to say, and I know the European
Wednesday or
market-
Saturdays,
the opening for the
Exciting.
European is the 5th, correct?
It's
May
the 5th, and it's, so Saturday, we're early in the morning till 2 p.m. So 8, I want to say we open at 8 a.m. And we go till 2 p.m. We just did our vendor rally with getting everyone excited. So I'm trying to remember, their setup time, they got to be out and done by, 7.
Love doing my live gigs there.
Oh,
It's
they're
the coolest
it's awesome.
thing. And you get to know everybody. And when you have over 100 vendors, typically 80 to 100 no matter what every week, and it's just packed, and there's the who's who is there. From food to the nuns to the book people to the
Well,
to the
that's
job
what's
people.
cool.
No, it's
There
so
really
cool.
is something
Everything.
for everyone.
It's
Yeah,
really cool.
that is neat. Can I ask about the State Park Pavilion starting construction again?
Well, so everything's in place for them to be able to start construction, but it's like every other economic development project. It's kind of up to them. Permits are in place, alcohol permits are in place, but at the end of the day, it's kind of everyone's just kind of waiting on them on when they want to start. So I think that they were hoping to start sooner than later, but it's kind of up to them at this point, but everything's in place for them to go ahead with the project.
Everything's ready.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good. What about I have a thing for an Italian restaurant. Is there a new?
All right.
Is there a new place?
Yeah.
Rick said, "Why next time can they come and bring samples?"
How about this? How about Mora? You got the poll. We'll do a live broadcast from there.
Yeah, there we
you
go.
I like it.
I'll pay for lunch, everybody.
I drove by yesterday. I saw the building's going up, and the deck upstairs is going to be really cool. You can eat upstairs.
And where's this going to
look
be
out.
at?
Right,
What-
where
what's
is
the area?
It's in Coffee Creek, so
Oh, cool.
it's just north of the toll road, and right across the street from AJ's Pizza.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's really exciting. So you can eat and then go walk on the trail and
And
burn your
it off.
calories.
Yes. Get
Yeah.
your little steps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if Italian isn't where you want to go and you're more of a steak and potatoes kind of person, then you could go over to Gino's, because
Yes.
Gino's just opened too not too long ago, and then and they're in the old Applebee's building, so across 49,
Really?
yeah, across on Indian Boundary, they're right there. So that's always it's right where the Franciscan Emergency Room Center is, right across the street. Yeah, so yeah, that's really exciting for them. We went once to just kind of welcome them to the community again. It was before even their members or anything like
Yeah.
that. We're just kind of saying, hey, thank you for coming, thank you. So there's a lot of interest in Chesterton. So it's interesting to see, because some people don't realize they drive past maybe some vacant buildings and
Right.
they're going, what's going on, what's the interest? But really there's a lot of things going on, and I think it's just all in different phases of where people are, whether or not they're buying the buildings. There's property available. We were just talking about the Italian restaurant over there by the toll road, but there's 60 plus acres right there for sale for when you're talking big businesses coming in that we need to work with the state on. But all the infrastructure's in place too, which is huge. You're connected to the water, you're
Yeah.
connected. That's a lot of work to have a site that's essentially shovel ready.
Yeah.
There's certain designations in the economic development world, so I don't think that site is technically shovel ready, because you have to pay for the certifications and all that stuff, but it is pretty much to the point, ready for someone to come in.
I love to hear about all the new construction and stuff going on, but what I really love is what you just said. the Geno's East, then they're in the old Applebee's building. I love that these buildings that are already there,
Yeah.
that for whatever reason aren't there any longer, are still selling and successful. And that's huge by itself, I think. So we aren't having all these buildings that are vacant.
Right,
you
and
know,
just
they're
sitting.
still.
And you know what? With that said, there are some buildings that, you know what, if it came, like there's sometimes it costs more to, I mean, I'm not talking the historic buildings. I
Right,
mean,
right.
we talked about a lot of historic buildings, and obviously you see the love come out, you know, when I talk about it. And then there's certain buildings that you go, you know, if it was raised and they did something beautiful in that lot, you know, so there's, and I'm not saying that might, again, I need like the disclaimer thing.
I know,
But when
I
we're
know.
talking about like the Kmart building, so that's vacant now for a few years, but the parking lot needs some work. That building might need some work. That might be one of those where you go, it's better to have someone come in, take down an old building
Yeah.
rather than have it sit there for years.
Right,
And
right.
then build something that everyone can appreciate in
functional.
the
I
town.
mean, certainly.
And there's interest in that, but again, I think it depends on who's holding on to
Right.
sometimes to that property that we're having, you know, issues turning that over. There are people interested. And I think that that's something that the everyday person passing by, they're going, why is a building just
That's
sitting
it.
there? There are so many reasons why, you know, properties, you know, sit there, or they're, you know, it could be, you know, based on who owns it. It could be based on permitting issues. It could be, there's so many details that go into economic development that not everyone realizes, but everyone's working hard to, because no one wants to see something sit there and not
Right.
be used.
That's why it's so important that we do this Chamber Corner once a month, really, to kind of, you know, let people know really what's going on and stuff. Can you tell us about Story Point?
You know what? Story Point and was it Journey?
Journey Senior, yeah.
Journey Senior, and then the one in Coffee Creek.
We have, Symphony.
So there's in Symphony.
and
yeah.
then we have residences going up too.
Right. And
What is it?
Actually, yeah, we just named off quite a few.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
Story Point I see opening in August. What is that?
They're independent living centers.
Oh,
and they're
really?
all a little bit different. So some have
That's great.
stoves in them, and
Yes.
some don't. So you know, it just depends on the level of
Is
where
it
the
like an
person's
assisted
at.
living?
So there are some, so depending on the facility, there are some that are assisted living and there's some that are independent living. So that's
Okay.
the main
Oh, that's
difference. So
great.
either you need a little bit more level of care, you might
Right.
need nursing to come in, you might need help with medication.
Yes.
So based on like those, and so the ones that we just talked about, like so Symphony, I want to say their forte is more of like the rehab
okay.
portion. So a lot of people will go there for rehab and then they might end up staying. They have Journey Senior Living, which is right over there that they built right next to Porter Hospital. They're more memory care
Okay.
focused. So all of them kind of have their specialties. Residences at Coffee Creek is going up, so we haven't had a chance to really tour theirs, but I want to say that they're more independent. And then Story Point again it has independent as well as assisting, but it's on the other side. So when they talked to me about when we did a tour for them, which all these places they're so excited about being there and they want to give tours to people so that way everyone knows. So feel free to call any of these places if you're
It's so
interested.
important. Honestly, if you're in the market looking for that or have a family member that needs it, we've done so
You're
many
shopping
shows
for a
on
new
it.
home. I mean, you
Well,
gotta look into it.
Especially if you do have a parent or grandparent that needs a little bit, maybe still can live on their own, but
Yeah.
needs someone to pop in a little more regularly than you're able to. It can be intimidating, but it's nice that you
Yeah.
can do tours and
Well, and I will have to say that I think we're really, I would say lucky, blessed. I mean, all those words kind of come up to have some of the partners that have decided to build in the area. I mean, it is all in who owns the buildings and the level of care and the level, that they express, and that, I mean, you just really feel good walking around and touring those facilities, and that they can really kind of talk about, what you're looking for in essentially either the next step in your life or a new home. And,
Right.
and it's nice because they really put that thought into it. I mean, some of these have theaters, they have wonderful chefs in all of them. I mean,
Starbucks.
yeah, Starbucks.
Oh, how funny.
Starbucks is
That's
in Symphony, right? So, I mean, what's not to love? So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these places are great, but yeah, we have quite a few that are new in the area that everyone's like, what's going on?
Well,
And-
that's what I thought. I mean, I thought, well, geez, they're overbuilding for these. But I was just at a meeting last night with the Duneland Schools, and they did a study, And from 2015 to 2035, the 65 and over population in the Duneland area is going to grow by 68%.
That's huge.
So there's a need.
Oh,
Hold on one
absolutely.
second.
That'll
We're
be you, Rick.
2018, and I'm 51 and 35. That's 17. Holy cow.
We've got a spot for you in
I-
Chesterton.
Oh,
Do you know?
I was just real quick. Can you throw out your number really quick, in case folks want to get hold of you? directly?
219-789-1228.
One more time.
Call Paul. 219-789-1228.
Well,
PaulBoyder.com.
Rock on.
And for Mora, I'd like to know about the story point. I'm running all my words together for the ribbon cutting. If people are interested in, can they call you
They
or
just
call
need
you the chamber and
call
say,
the chamber,
I
we'll
don't know
get-
where to start.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go. You
Yep,
know?
absolutely. So we usually promote all of our ribbon cuttings. So we have the Highway 49 billboard that we've talked about previously.
Right.
So we'll
Beautiful.
have like all of that on there. We'll have the date and the time. So once we have all of that, we will call our office 926-5513. Again, 219-926-5513. You could always email us or stop in too if you're in the area, but then we can give you the information
Yeah.
as well. It will be on our website once we have all of the particulars
These
too
guys
figured
are
out.
great. I'm going to throw this out there, and we all know this in this room, but they're great about their Facebook. They're great about their Twitter, their social media platforms. The newsletter is stellar for the businesses. Pictures and the follow-up. I'll give you a great example. Maura and the crew were on a tour yesterday. What do you call that Wednesday soiree?
What's up Wednesday?
I love it.
Wednesday. So I'm going to do a spot for you. What's up? And Maura did this tour with the whole group, but it started out at one spot and went all over the area and ended up at the Reprographic Arts
Yep.
grand reopening. He's been a staple in our area for years.
Yep.
We all use him.
Yep.
And, for his products, his banners, his t-shirts, great things. And it was phenomenal. And then we, as partners of the Duneland Chamber, we shared Maura's picture, of course. And it was stellar. And I actually emailed Kevin this morning. I said, my gosh, great pictures. But their information, just so you know, like we were all chatting about, your access to information is unbelievable, and I love it. And I could say this with pride and a smile because I am a Duneland Chamber member, but I do a ton of events with them. You walk into that place, they will drop what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anybody on that team, your team is phenomenal. Headed up by
you.
you, of course. But you guys do a great job.
Yeah, our team is phenomenal. I mean, when it comes down to it, you need to address like whoever's walking in your door. I have a lot of people go, "Oh, is more too busy? It's can I see Beth? I have a question about my finance. Whatever it is." And it's yeah, absolutely. Come on in. Like we are a small business. We do a lot of stuff for being, a small staff, but it's important to make the time for your members and to get out. It's hard, honestly, to take 2 hours for a What's Up Wednesday to get out to like, I have this project, and I have this project, and I have this project. But once you get out and you start talking, like Potawatomi is one of our new members, and he was great to sit and talk, and you can, you just get energized. Like it's what that's why I'm here.
Well, we were cracking up about. I love the What's Up Wednesday.
Wait, hold on. Everybody, 1, 2, 3.
What's up? I love it. But I love it's funny that Maura said she popped in here and startled Alex once,
Oh,
know.
no.
And I said, that's hilarious. You're going to freak him out a little. Pretty
was.
soon
You're
you're going to be going to all the windows.
I was being the creeper at the front door, like,
He freaks out.
oh,
Little
little
nerve.
scared.
That's what
I'm
cracks
like,
you up.
I'm driving like my mom van, like hanging
Yeah,
out.
I said
like,
you should have gone to all the windows. I see you in there.
Back
Freak him out. I have one more thing. One more thing I have to ask you about. I know, man, we're fitting so much in, but Octave moving, right?
Yes.
I hear that they are moving or possibly moving.
They bought a building maybe 4 months ago, and it's the building located just to the south of the tracks on Calumet. So Northside Diners on one side of the tracks, and then Octave's going to be on the other side. And I think I believe they're going to just about double their space.
Really?
Yep. And then they're going to try to do something out in the back where you can eat outside and look at Coffee Creek back there.
I just
So
had
that's
someone
exciting.
say, "Can we please do
The
What's
food?
Up one more time?" But hang on. Gotta do this with the wide shot. 1, 2, 3.
What's up?
Wednesday.
That's right.
So
That's
I
fun.
think that's great. But I just want to throw this out there as well. you know, Paul, you brought up on a serious note something that is near and dear to my heart. And, you know, a lot of us that, you know, maybe you travel in like me, or Mary, you live in a different part of the area, and Maura, you obviously live in the Duneland area. But for a guy like me, what totally brings me to this area is the great small local vibe, the live and local. But quite honestly, I love the water.
Yeah.
And you brought up the water, and I'm people that live around the lakes and around Lake Michigan, and just the beauty of this area. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys, take advantage of it. Go out there, bond with your family, go on the trails, hike, bike, run, have fun.
Well, you know, we always have we have guests that come regularly that talk about hiking the dunes. Like, that is their thing, you know, and it's awesome.
Well,
and
I'm
we're
super
very
excited
lucky.
about the double tracking too.
Oh, yes.
With the South Shore, so we're going to be able to bring people to the lake more easier, faster. People will be able to get from here to Chicago. They can go to the White Sox opener
Yes.
today.
If you want
Or
to
Cubs, right?
Go to the
Or
Cubs
like,
games.
Me too. I'm like, what?
we have clean socks, did you say? That's what more I was trying to stick up for that.
I'm sorry, we're done.
Out of the studio.
But I think that's the other beauty of Duneland is you can hop on that train and you can be in
Yeah.
Chicago in 45 minutes to an hour, and you've got everything.
Yeah.
Every sport
I
you can
agree.
imagine. It's
The
beautiful.
convenience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right. We are
wonderful.
lucky for sure. Can you give us the chamber's website? People can look up, see events,
Yeah.
or even contact information. And are all of your members listed then too?
All of our members are listed. All of our contact information is listed. All the board of directors contact. So you can find Paul on there. You can find myself and my team, as well as any member. You can always call our office at 926-5513, or visit the website that we were just talking about, which is dunelandchamber.org.
I want to throw this out there to Paul, since he's been a great guy about being a big round of applause for
Thank you.
Maura and Paul.
Yay,
So, I want to throw this out there. Someone may be listening right now online. They come in to visit the area. They have family and friends, but they do want to get into that. I really would like to move here mode. They want to do the one-stop shop guy. If someone was to call you and say, hey, could you help me out with this? They could look at properties online with you and other things. But can you also connect them with potentially, and I'm not trying to hone in on folks' personal stuff, but financial, you know, accessibility, bank partners that you work with, basically.
Absolutely. We actually have an affiliation with Diamond Mortgage.
Beautiful.
So they sit in our offices. So if somebody comes in, there's a loan officer waiting to help them get pre-approved. And then obviously locally we have many banks in the chamber that can help. Porter Bank is a wonderful
Love 'em.
local
Hi, Jim.
bank. Yeah,
And
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah. So and Jackie's on the board with
Yeah,
us.
she's
so-
our treasurer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's the beauty of the small community. You have all these wonderful people that you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk into Porter Bank or Cintier or Horizon, and you know the people because they're in the chamber with us.
Or they're
on the
sitting at
board.
Rotary with you, or Kiwanis,
Yes,
or
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
they are like, and they're accessible. So I mean, you can go, hey, I got a quick question, real quick. Can you? And they sit down and they
Yeah.
take the time, and they know you as a person, and they know your history and your family's like they just it's just nice.
Cool, a cool story as I was just chatting with Jim and Jackie recently, and I go down 20 from the radio station in the Michigan City area down through Furnaceville High School House Shop. I love you too. And then under 49, and then I go around. You know, I come up and I curve around by the Spa Special Events Center,
Yeah.
and you know, it's very unique to see the different projects that, like a Porter Bank, where you see the giant signs.
I love those
You know,
signs.
So do I.
They're
I
so-
made
it's
that
so
comment.
smart. I love
As a
it.
business guy, I really want to see that. You know, where you see things evolving,
Right.
like old buildings being restored, as
Right.
you know, Paul and Maura were talking about, or new development. So whether it's Burns Harbor, whether it's
Yeah.
a Porter, whether it's a Chesterton, it's awesome. It's good for all of us.
I
and
was
for
just
our
driving by
future folks.
off 20 by Village Land Company
Yes,
where
yes.
and they had, and the First State
Yes.
Bank of Porter had, I think it was like for Curly's or something. I'm like, yay, go you! Like that was the
Yes.
first one I ever recognized. But yeah, I saw it like right away, going, oh, that's exciting. Like that's exciting. Good for them.
You have me thinking about Euros, just so you know.
And strawberry shakes or chocolate
Whoa.
shakes because they're the best
So
there.
good. And I have to throw this out there just kind of so we can recap. Obviously, Mary and I had the pleasure of being out with our teams at Corkscrew.
Yeah.
Brew, and
Oh, yeah.
always
We
have
had a
people
great
around
time. And
just because it wasn't so stellar.
you know what? It
was
turned out so
awesome.
nice.
The
It
sun
really did.
came
The sun
out.
came out.
Yeah.
You know,
It
the
was
morning
beautiful.
started so ugly, like really early that morning, but it really turned out
And
to
not
be
like go
such a
ugly
beautiful
early
day.
style, but like
No, yeah, it turned out to be such a beautiful day. It
Was
really
it kinda
did.
Like, early day, like fleas.
No.
No.
But it was rough that morning.
was.
Early that morning, I thought, oh man,
it's gonna be a long
I
day.
was worried, right, for you guys because so much goes into it.
Yeah.
But it really turned out gorgeous. It was a great crowd. Everybody was really enjoying themselves,
Music
and
was phenomenal.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
Jerry
it was just
Hunt,
good. You know, even
Andrea.
the lines, even when you'd wait in a line, they moved so quick, and everybody was chatting with each other, and that's always nice to see.
I will say the brewers and the wine kind of like they're so good to us. I mean, they're just not like because I mean during the event you don't have. I mean, I have enough time to pass out waters and tell them
Right,
thank
right.
you. But at the end, after I'm at Gastro hanging out because all of them are on tap pretty much
Absolutely.
there. So like I get to go and say hi to all of them, and they're just so friendly and just
Yeah.
so nice. Like, oh yeah, we had a great time, Maura. Thank you so much for inviting us. I mean, it's just. It's different. I
Can
feel
we do
like
that
than
right
maybe
now?
some of the other tastings that you might go see. It's
That's
special.
one of my favorite brew fests. I mean, it's
Yeah. I
say
small,
that too.
and you don't have to wait in line. You can,
Yeah,
you
they
can
move
talk
so
to the
quick.
brewers. It's
Yeah.
really
The
fun.
way
yeah.
that Maura and the ladies and the teams put it together, quite honestly, there's so much room. Mary pointed out so eloquently, you don't have to worry about the lines. Everybody's in great spirits.
Yeah.
They do it they're brilliant about the way they have the whole designated driver ticket thing. My good buddy up in front with his insurance company,
Yep.
who's handing out waters. But I mean, it's just great. Did a lot of people sign that cool thing by the gazebo too? That big card?
Yeah,
It was a
Artsmith
piece of art.
Studio. Brian Dortman, he was awesome, cool artist, and yeah, he did something that was very Chesterton centric, and everyone was signing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's
Cool. And then
The
we all-
food.
And
The
M&S
food was
Collision, I
very
have to
good.
say,
Food
was
was awesome.
The food. was
Leroy's
very good.
tacos are the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
They were there. Yeah.
Well, my favorite part, I was the designated driver for my group, which was fine. But afterwards, we went over it because we bonded with a bunch of the folks from Running Vines.
Yeah.
So we stopped over there and just kind of bonded. But she was wall to wall packed.
Good.
But it was
See
just
that
crazy.
to me, that's the beauty of the chamber. They
Mm-hmm.
they bring these events downtown, and then for the small businesses, the people at 4:00 they spill out and they go
Mm-hmm.
to eat. They go, you've been drinking, so you probably go buy some jewelry at Ashley's.
I love you.
I'll say
Right?
no.
You know, oh, Jinx! Look at that. Grapevine
Jeremy
Stigolite.
is a wonderful man. Her husband, it's like, that's what you did. I love you.
Right now, Megan's like, is that all I have to do? Like,
That is absolutely
That's funny.
right.
It was a great time. A
Yeah.
great
we
event.
love having you guys. I mean, you guys are the
It
best
was
partners
good.
ever. Thank you.
It really turned out good.
The
It was a
other
lot of
spin
fun.
to that was, and I'm just going to say this because you guys had folks that were presenting product and services, which have been there the last 3 years. The reggae wines, I'm going to talk about them just
Oh,
for a moment.
yeah.
They come from downstate. I mean, how about
Eastleigh.
it?
I was just around the corner. I was like, they were at our Corkscrew
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
right across from Sun King Brewery in Indy, and I spent
Yeah.
Easter with my
Killer.
sister in Indy,
Oh.
and I'm like, oh my God, they were there! Like, how cool is that
She's
they
like-
drove 3 hours?
She's
Everybody-
awesome.
I mean, she was doing like, hey, try this. And
She
this.
was
And so-
passing out lays. I mean, she
Yeah,
was
she's
so
like, everybody,
funny.
let's get
Cool.
laid, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like, no, I mean, it
Sorry,
was a
Lauren.
great time. She was a riot too. And I mean, they have some delicious wines.
she was doing like blush and sangria, and then she was doing like these just cool little spins within the limits. But people were sipping it. But I'm telling you, I know that some of the local stores carry
Yeah,
that
they
product
do.
around here.
Yep.
And right after that same weekend, we went to a few, and they were literally out of product. And I'm telling you, it's directly from
Wow.
the Corkscrew Brew crews.
Yeah.
That are out there.
Reggae
There's
Red's
hundreds
one
and
of my
hundreds
sister's
people. Oh, yes.
favorite. My sister loves a real sweet wine, and that's like her favorite. So I mean, I didn't even know that they were from Indy. I truly did not realize that they were an Indiana
Yep.
thing, anyways, until she was there.
I love
was
all
like,
the
And
flavors.
Flat 12 comes too. That's over
yeah.
in Indy, which is cool because he's like has a local connection. I think he grew up in Chesterton
Oh,
or something.
wow.
So like they always come back too for Corkscrew since our first time, and they're a really well known brewery downtown.
Yes.
So it's cool.
It's really neat.
Okay,
It's a good
so
time.
Thanks.
So we were supposed to do 30 minutes, but what
I
the
know,
heck?
it's okay.
I'll do
Yeah.
the whole hour. We don't
Sorry,
care.
yeah, it's
We're all
okay. See,
about
there's
you
a
too.
lot. There's a lot to
this
fit
is
in
fun.
here.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
always
It's about-
busting, for sure.
I want to remind folks that have viewed today and have listened that all opinions expressed here on Gerard Media LLC do not reflect those of management here at Gerard Media, our advertising partners, or the Doolin Chamber. This is set up strategically with our Doolin Chamber partners so we can educate and inform folks about great things happening in the Doolin corridor
Yeah.
and beyond. I mean, I think that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
So, any final thoughts from you two? Because it's all about you guys.
Well, we're going to cover some of these the topics that we talked about and some of the economic development endeavors in the Doolin Today magazine coming up in the summer. So I mentioned it kind of briefly when I was
Yeah.
talking about the train car possibly being featured. But so if you're kind of interested more in depth, our writers, Heather does a good job of like going in, talking to these owners, getting it straight from their, right from them. So just look forward to that.
Beautiful. And what are you going to say?
Yep, I forgot to mention this earlier, but we have some great events coming up too, like the fireworks in the summer. And I wanted to thank Urschel Laboratories, a wonderful company that has come into Chesterton, has been very generous with the chamber. They've sponsored the fireworks and the party in the park.
Wow.
When Maura is scrambling around for the fireworks to get money, usually last year, from the towns and from everybody to give, Urschel stepped up and really helped us with
Very
that.
cool.
So
When it comes down to our
big thank you
community
to them.
events, we have to ask a lot of our businesses to constantly give to a lot of our projects. I mean, we're either on the horn for for talking about bathrooms or we're talking about a community event. So Urschel's been great. I'll still make the rounds to the towns just to make sure that they, are going to participate, that they want to donate to the effort for us to continue to
Right.
organize it. So I'm sure I'll be making papers at town council meetings. Hey guys, come in.
And speaking of the bathrooms,
But it's July 2nd.
I'll throw this out there to your listeners. If they'll call in today and donate $500 to the bathrooms, I'll match it.
Okay.
All
So
right.
9265513.
That's pretty
Okay.
nice.
Wow. Let's get like 10 people to
That's
do that.
really nice.
Please.
9265513. So before you go, make sure you tell social media coordinator Jackie Beisel what was just said.
Yes.
She's listening the other way, playing with the cameras for us today, and we will put that up online as well.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank
So,
you.
one more time,
Welcome.
repeat
So
yourself.
up
young
to
man.
$500.
Okay.
If they call in today, I'll match it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Let's do this.
I love those bathrooms.
Is there a cutoff time for that, Paul? Do you want to put it?
Today at 5 o'clock.
Okay, there you go.
I have 5
Second
o'clock.
Tuesday of next week at 10. What? Mr. Federici, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
gosh.
that's very generous.
Sweet.
All right.
That's awesome. That's how community partnership is
that's-
done.
Yes,
That's
that's right.
nice.
You got to
Just to
give
kind of
back.
let folks know, Mary, I know that we've got our shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our Doolin Chamber group will be back, obviously, coming up in the next few weeks, so we'll talk a little more
Yeah,
about
for
that.
sure we will.
Thank you for keeping us on
No.
even longer. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
guys are
Yes.
amazing.
So much. It's so much to talk about, and it's fun.
Next time, you know what's going to happen when the cameras go off and we're back on the air and into CBS News. What's going to happen is our young lady over here is going to say, "Okay, Federici, pony up. We need to be at a restaurant.
Oh,
Let's get the
whatever.
live broadcast going." Going.
That's
That'd
fun.
be
Love
fun.
it.
Maybe one of these.
One of these shows we should do from some new restaurant and
With-
just
with the whole board.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this too.
it'll be fun.
Maybe we could do it at the Allure.
Oh.
That would fit. I mean, yeah, because you have to find a space big enough
Okay.
to accommodate,
I
which
like
gets
this.
crazy.
We
You
can do
talk
it.
the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And Volstead's. I love Volstead's downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
That's
new,
downtown
new
in
place.
Chesterton?
Yes.
That's
Yep.
the old Poplanos.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They have a
New
great
restaurant.
bar in there.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool.
So many options.
Yeah, no
Here's the
kidding.
three-letter
So many
word.
options.
Well, thank you guys. On
Thank you
behalf
for
of
coming.
Gerard Media LLC, Mark Scott, Rick Federici, we thank you for joining us. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And we
Thank
are
you guys
living the
so
dream.
much.
You.
AM 1420 WIMS. Local news.
Slick roads led to a rough commute in many portions of the area on Wednesday morning, including a major backup on US 20. All lanes of US 20 were at a standstill due to semi-tractor trailers being unable to gain traction on the icy surface. As a result, there were significant traffic backups in both directions along US 20 between State Road 39 and State Road 2. For WIMS News, I'm Alex Bassett.
Emergency responders in Indiana and across the country are being called out for mental health issues or drug overdoses more often than not. Here's Veronica Carter with more on the story.
As part of a pilot project called Mobile Crisis Assistance Team, or MCAT, behavioral health specialists were sent out with paramedics and firefighters in Indianapolis during the last half of 2017. They kept track of what happened in each case, and now the data has been analyzed by the Center for Criminal Justice Research at the Indiana University Public Policy Institute. Study author Katie Bailey says they found nearly 60% of the 911 calls centered around mental health issues, drug overdoses, suicide attempts, or self-harm.
What would have happened to people if the MCAT didn't respond to them? Like, would more people have been arrested? Would more people have gone to the hospital or the emergency room?
The idea of the project was to get people the help they need when they're in crisis. Bailey says when MCAT team members were along for the ride, the person needing help was more likely to be taken in for medical or mental health treatment rather than jail. During the study period, people were taken to jail in less than 2% of all the cases. I'm Veronica Carter reporting.
Chesterton police are saying they have received multiple calls from citizens reporting they were contacted by a representative from NIPSCO about their account being past due. CPD is warning residents not to give anyone any banking information over the phone or send a money order. Contact NIPSCO directly at 800-464-7726 if you believe your account could be past due. If you know your account is up to date, disregard the call. To keep up to date with the latest weather, plus more news and information from our area, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, which you can also access through our website, WIMSradio.com. I'm Mike Payne for WIMS News. Patrick's Grill invites you to a give back going on Thursday, April 12th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. This benefits the Lakefront Career Network's Day of Giving for the Michigan City Boys and Girls Club. 10% of the sales from the day will return as a donation. The date again is April 12th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Patrick's Grill, located at 4125 Franklin in Michigan City. Don't miss Patrick's Grill inviting you to a give back Thursday, April 12th from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m.
This is CBS News on
AM 1420 WIMS Michigan City, a Girard Media Company, streaming live at WIMSradio.com.
Again today about America's southern border with the ink now dry on his order to send troops. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
The Homeland Security Secretary says it's still unclear how many National Guardsmen will be sent to the border.
We're going to send as many troops as we need to get the mission done.
So no numbers.
No numbers.
Kirsten Nielsen says the size of the force will be determined in coordination with the border states. Nielsen says she'll soon speak with California Governor Jerry Brown. He's being urged by fellow Democrats to reject the use of his state's troops. Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas are led by Republicans. Nielsen says they're on board. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the president's top economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, says he's heard the uproar from industries that could be affected by threatened Chinese tariffs.
I appreciate the concerns, absolutely, but give us some time to play this out. And I might say not only in consultation with China, obviously, but in consultation with the ag community, in consultation with the manufacturing community.
Top health officials urging all Americans to get involved in fighting opioid abuse.
I'm Peter King. Surgeon General Jerome Adams wants more Americans to carry an over-the-counter drug that helps reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. He says major retailers like Walgreens and CVS are on board.
They're committed at a national level to making sure naloxone is available.
His advisory comes as a Kaiser Family Foundation study shows large businesses spent some $2.6 billion on treatment for opioid addiction in 2016, 9 times more than in 2004. Lead author Cynthia Cox.
Most of the people who are getting treatment for abuse of opiate pills are younger people.
Peter King, CBS News.
Well, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg revealed more users may have had their data exposed to a political